Hi, in version 2.4 of Honkai Star Rail, we'll be getting 2 new banners and 2 new rerun banners. This time around, in the first half, the new character will be Yunli alongside a rerun of Huohuo. And in the second half, the new character will be Jiaoqiu with a rerun of Black Swan. Version 2.4 is looking like a very stacked patch, especially with 2 extremely strong units returning for a rerun. So here's a quick video going through the pros and cons and who should pull for them. Before we start, I'll be giving away 2 supply passes /Rocket Moon /Crystal Card to my subscribers at 5k subs, so make sure you subscribe to enter. Starting off in the first phase with the brand new 5-star Yunli. If you don't know what she does, I have a guided link in the description, but in short, Yunli is a physical destruction DPS that focuses on countering enemy attacks and using well-timed ultimate to do massive damage. She is, in a way, basically a direct upgrade from Clara, since they do have a very similar playstyle of using follow-up attacks after getting hit, and while also being the same exact element and path, which is physical destruction. While it's sad to see a character literally getting directly power crept, Yunli does come with one really fun mechanic, and that is her ultimate. It requires you to hold on to it and use it at the right time right before the enemy attacks. This makes it a very fun unit. Together with some really good multipliers, she'll no doubt be a really decent DPS. However, that is all she is, a very fun and a decent DPS. In basically every situation, Acheron or Firefly will still be better DPSs, and with her damage coming from counterattacks, if you get unlucky, her damage could be very inconsistent. So for people looking for a very active playstyle, or are looking for a strong free-to-play DPS as one of her best teams consists of 3 4-star characters, Yunli will be a really enjoyable addition to your account. However, people who are not that interested in her playstyle and have a better DPS like Firefly or Acheron should look to skip her. Next up, for the rerun of the first phase, we are getting a rerun of Huohuo. Huohuo Squared, in a nutshell, is a 5-star wind abundance healer that focuses on her strong cleansing and an ultimate that gives energy and attack to the rest of her teammates. As you can probably tell, she is a very stacked healer that does more than just healing, while also not sacrificing any healing power either, as she still heals equally or even better than someone like Lo Cha. And talking about the parts that are more than just healing, to this day, Huohuo is still the only other unit other than Tingyun that can give teammate energy. This by itself already makes her one of the best units in the game, since a lot of units are either relying or really like having more ultimates. So her being able to give out energy to the rest of her teammates while also giving a bit of attack really makes her one of the top options for sustain. But with all that being said, all of this comes at a cost of being just a bit more skill point hungry compared to other top sustain options like Fushuan, Avenging or Lo Cha. So for people who only have one or don't have a limited sustain options, you should definitely look to invest into getting a Huohuo, as you can't do damage if you don't live, right? But even if you do live, if you're looking to upgrade your ultimate relying teams like Argentine teams or DOT teams like Kafka Black Swan teams, Huohuo will be a great fit too. However, that being said, if you already have multiple top limited sustains, then her pull value does drop a bit. And just for people in general who are not struggling to keep their team alive, whether it be killing the enemy really fast or just being good, those people will find Huohuo not as useful for their account. Moving on to the second phase, we'll be getting a brand new character called Jiaoqiu. Basically, Jiaoqiu is a fire nihility DOT unit who, let's be honest, is just an Acheron support. Jokes aside, he is a very basic character who has a field that increases ultimate damage and applies a DOT. But that is not necessarily a bad thing, as a simple kit means that he is very easy and straightforward character to use. As I said before, Jiaoqiu is basically a tailor-made Acheron support, with a very freaking debuff application and an ultimate damage up. We can all see that he will really enjoy being ran in an Acheron team. However, just like any other DOT unit, Kafka will also somewhat like Jiaoqiu too. While I won't pretend that he is a better 3rd star for a Kafka Black Swan team, he is just a decent option overall. So, people who have Acheron and are looking for a slight upgrade, Jiaoqiu will be a decent choice. Kafka plus Black Swan havers that are missing a Ron Mei or Robin will also enjoy having Jiaoqiu as the 3rd member. However, the unfortunate truth is that for all those teams, it's either a very small upgrade or a side grade. So unless you really like his design, I would suggest skipping him for now. Finally, for the rerun of the second phase, we're getting an actual DOT unit called Black Swan. Essentially, Black Swan is a Win Nihility DOT unit that focuses on her own version of DOT separate from the base game. This special type of DOT gains more benefits the more stack it has, and with a debuff on her skill too. She is the premier DOT sub DPS. As you can probably tell, just like how Jiaoqiu was tailor-made for Acheron, Black Swan in a way was tailor-made for Kafka. However, unlike Jiaoqiu, Black Swan by herself is most definitely still a really good unit. Although without Kafka, she will perform a bit weaker, but the truth is that she just does so much damage that by herself, she is more than good enough for a lot of the content the game has to offer. So pretty obviously, if you have Kafka, make sure you pull for her as together to make one of the best teams in this game. But since she has the defense down on her skill and applies debuffs fast, people that are missing the second strong Nihility unit for Acheron will appreciate it too. And really, even if you don't have Kafka, if you plan to use a DOT team, especially with someone like Sample, Black Swan will be a decent pool too. But at the same time, if you don't have Kafka, she may not seem that valuable. And of course, if you do not plan on playing a DOT team, then her value does also drop. So yeah, that does it. Remember, at the end of the day, pull for your waifus and husbandos over meta. I understand the recent hatred / doom posting on certain characters, but come on guys, let's just let people enjoy their favorite characters, be it for gameplay or visuals. Eventually, you will all get to the point where you don't need any more upgrades as you can clear the hardest content in the game already. So there's no need for every new character to be the top 1 best meta character, especially if you want to avoid too much power creep.